Awesome, awesome. And I will turn on the live view so we can see any comments that pop in.
Right on.
Perfect. Alrighty. Make sure we get a live view.
Perfect freeze frame.
Yeah,
right there.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Usually it gives me a better view of things. So let's make sure we can get a better view. Go back. View Larry, a live controller, and that's what we want. This way you can see all the comments that come in. Perfect. That's
wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cool. Awesome. So we're live.
Sweet.
Thank you, Kellen, for joining me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Our first guest on this awesome, hopefully awesome podcast.
Very first guest.
Very first guest.
Gonna put a plaque up.
I know, right? And I, as you'll see when if you ever see any of our other videos, I'm very unscripted. However, I wrote down some terribly scribbled questions to ask you.
That's exactly how we do it in radio, too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, Kellen, you work at KZND.
That's right.
Right.
The all-new 94.7 Alternative Anchorage.
That's it. You got to plug it in where you can. And luckily, we're not that corporate where you can do that anytime. So, anytime you feel the need.
Oh, yeah. I'll fit it in.
Perfect. So, first of all, though, you're not from Alaska, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Where are you from?
I was born in Coos Bay, southwestern Oregon, right on the coast. Lived 20 minutes from the ocean my whole life.
Oh, my goodness.
So bounced around a lot when I was a teenager. Spent 5 years in Mexico. Moved back up to Portland. Got into radio in 2010. And college radio, originally at Oregon State. Go Beavers.
There it is.
Yeah. And then got with a company called Alpha Media in Portland, where their national headquarters is. And then...
The Alpha Media.
The Alpha Media, yeah. So they own K-Whale. They own... I want to say Bob FM might be theirs. I'm not really sure. I should pay closer attention to the competition, but I never really did. But yeah, I was at Alpha. Portland's a really hard market to break into, and my girlfriend got a job with Alaska Airlines. So she was like, oh, I might have to move to Anchorage. And then I was like, okay. When I looked for a job, and I found this like dream gig in a rock station, and bombed up here in a rickety RV, man.
Really?
Yeah, drove the whole way, 5 days. Anybody who's done the Alcan, I mean, in a normal car, you can make it in like 3 or 4 days. It took me 5 because that thing tops out at like 60.
But like it should, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll find radio people. You'll ask me a 10-word question, and I'll answer with 3 minutes.
That's good.
Weird.
No,
Yeah.
that does a lot for me, so I don't have to... You killed like 3 of the questions for me. The next one was like, how long have you been in radio? But since 2012, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, 2010, I hopped on a radio show that was my buddy's gig and kind of took it over. He had 2 hours a week on college radio at Oregon State. And I was like, oh, dude, let me in. And let me be a part of it. And we re-imaged the station or the show, and we called it the Murder Family Bible Hour. So it was just basically like us just BSing and like playing whatever music he was into. He kind of programmed the music. And from there, I got into a college program. Portland's got a really amazing program for radio.
Cool.
And a really streamlined way to kind of get you your first gig. So I went to Portland, Mount Hood Community College.
Oh.
Yeah.
No judgment.
No, not at all. I've got half a degree. Yeah.
It's better than a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, the second you can get a job in your field, drop out. You don't need that paper. Your first job looks better on your resume.
Yes.
So when did I get that? 2013. And then, dude, busting into radio, depending on the city you're in, is super hard. I had 3 jobs working 20 hours a week at each one.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was just to pad my resume. So by the time I got my first like full-time gig, they were like, wow, you really work hard. I'm like, you're right. I'm about to have a heart attack at 28. So it's all leapfrogging, man, and nothing's taught me that more than radio.
I agree with you. IT.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get paid for my first job. For my first year in IT, I didn't get paid.
You did it for free? Internship?
Kind of, yeah. So my boss paid for my school books.
Oh, right on.
And my gas.
Okay.
And then gave me a car to use, and that was it. I mean, like doing like a $30 to $45 an hour job.
Yeah.
You got it. It's not what you know. Usually, it's
right.
who you know.
Who you know?
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I feel you.
And that's the thing too. That's cool about. I think the apprenticeship programs are super important, and they're kind of understated now because, not so much anymore. But we used to think like even 5 years ago, like you go get a degree, then that will get you the job. And it's like, no, dude, you got to get your hands dirty, get an apprenticeship, meet the right people, and that's how you get your job, man. Your degree is. It's a fart in the wind anymore, man.
Yeah, I've been asked for my college degree 0 times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all, do you know how to fix this?
Yep.
And fix it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been in Alaska for how many years?
I'm coming up on 2 years, man.
2 years.
September will be 2 years.
It feels like so much longer.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It blew by, man. It's winter, summer. That's really just a year.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this is shaping up to be my favorite summer so far.
It's hot.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm digging it, man. This is shorts weather.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised you're not wearing shorts.
It's laundry day.
So then what's your biggest obstacle living in Alaska?
Well, I came from Portland, so it's like a super foodie town, and like we get super spoiled because we're like so close to the ocean, but we're like this mecca in the Pacific Northwest for ethnic food. Mm-hmm. So you can find the best Thai and the best Mexican, the best Chinese, and like all this stuff, and out of food trucks.
Right.
So you go to this dinky food truck and pay like $8 or $9 and get like the most amazing pad Thai or whatever you want. So that like fresh produce, God, I miss being able to like. I mean, you can still find it but you got to hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know when to go to Costco. We know when to like hit cars and Fred Meyer, and like stagger them.
That's pro status right now.
Yeah,
that's where you're getting at, right?
Yeah. It's my girl is like she's such a pro at it. I still pick up a bag of lettuce and like 2 days later it's mushy.
I hate that.
You know how it goes?
In New Jersey, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
It's like you get a bag of lettuce and it stays fresh for like a week and a half, right?
Right.
Like, would you just die so we can just throw you out?
Yeah.
Then you end up eating it.
That's the thing. We buy all these vegetables trying to be healthy, and for like the next 3 days, I'm eating like a rabbit. Just like, God, I wish I had some hummus.
Yeah. and like that's what you do, right? I get my produce.
Yeah.
And I eat it because there's no hanging on to it. It's not this will be good for a week. It's like this is good for maybe 4 hours.
Yeah. Exactly. Is that a brown spot? Ah, crap.
So, but what's your favorite thing about Alaska?
Man, my favorite thing about Alaska.
Like, there's a lot of obstacles out there.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm glad the bar is that low.
Yeah, well, man, I want to say the wildlife, but like every time I turn on the news, it's like, well, we found another 6 dead whales, or or like the salmon season's over because the salmon are all dying. So I would say probably the wildlife because the Columbia River, the border between Oregon and Washington, used to be world famous for salmon.
Yeah.
And it still is famous, but like there's no salmon left. And we used to have like historic sized sturgeon. But we put so many hydroelectric dams on that river that it's so tame now that the salmon runs. The sea lions can swim all the way up, and they're decimating. And we like to blame it on the sea lions, but really it's like the industry. Industry killed all the salmon. So when you come to Alaska, you know what? My favorite, and this is kind of being selfish because it reminds me of home, driving down as soon as you get over the Turnagain Pass, and it's just lush green, the Chugach and the valley, Cooper Landing. Dude, Homer...
So the further away from you from Alaska, the better it is.
Kind of the further. Well, I went north. I've only been to Talkeetna yet, and that like silty tundra thing. That's not really my jam because I grew up around trees, in Oregon and the rainforests. So I would say like deep South Alaska is probably my. It just reminds me of home. Yeah. And I haven't gone further than Talkeetna, but I do love, for better or for worse, like the zaniest stuff happens here.
Yeah.
Like whenever Alaska makes a headline, it's never a small headline. Like it blows up and goes national. Like those Satanists that like made the city council walk out the other day.
Yeah, it is. That's like,
dude, that hit CNN.
You see on the like on the news, right? You're like, oh man, something hit the news.
Yeah,
and it's like, is it Florida or Alaska?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. It's always Florida man or a group of Alaskans.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or the one time when that I don't think it was it might have been here where the lady went into the polar bear den.
Oh yeah,
and her shoe. It's like the polar bear kept the shoe for like
Binky.
Yeah,
I think it was Binky.
Yeah.
So that was when I first moved here, that was my first favorite story. And I almost, I still want to get this tattoo because Binky's world famous for that photo of her shoe in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that is so perfect. Because that lady survived when really we just kind of stole one from Darwin's Law. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like when she's probably back in Australia. I think she was from Australia or Sweden or something. And she's probably back home, blocking traffic or making some dumb lane change and ruining somebody's commute,
yeah.
Man, it was we almost lost one.
Almost. I agree with you. I think if you were dumb enough to walk into a bear pen,
2 fences.
That's your doing. Congratulations. You've gotten yourself into this mess.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah. Right. One of you is going to chew your leg off to free you from the situation.
Right, yeah. I love the Harambe joke things where it's we had to shoot something today. The human. Not the animal, but the human. And this way, put that person on this misery.
Well, imagine what Harambe's last day was. He's drinking coffee, straightening his tie. It's another day of this crap. Kisses his wife goodbye, and he's just sitting there posting up, being all gorilla, and then just something splashes into the containment. Huh? What the hell is this thing? Oh God, what a bummer.
Yeah. I tell you, if someone broke into your house in Alaska, and you shot that person, there'd be no issue. He broke into my territory, and I took care of the situation.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We can go on about
what was he doing over there? Yeah, exactly. Here we are talking about Harambe on the internet.
All right, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, right? We're gaming here.
Yeah.
Right?
Warehouse 49.
And you're a gamer.
I recently got it. You know what? The winters got me back into gaming.
Yeah.
Really did. And that's the funny thing. PlayStation just ended there. I'm a console gamer. I'm not.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So I stopped gaming in I want to say 97, 98. I sold my my Super Nintendo and about maybe 15, 20 games so that I could buy an electric guitar. And then I really got into guitar and I played, got into music and everything. And I finally got a PlayStation 3 a few years back. And then I got a hand-me-down PS4 from my little brother. And the PS3 games, by the time I got it, were $5 each. Yeah. So I'm rocking all these titles for $5. And I'm like, man, these are amazing. The last games I was playing were side-scrollers.
Right.
And suddenly I'm playing, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And it's wow, this is insane. So PlayStation just had their big days of play, basically half off for everything. So last winter I realized okay, I'm gonna get back into gaming hard because I can't do it in the winter. Yeah. I need something. Fever, right? I need something. Yeah, exactly. So what did I bought the VR, which is. It's gimmicky. It's fun for a minute, but it's really limited.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's
we have VR, and it's just so that people can try it.
Yeah.
But I tell people hey, I want 2 hours of VR. I was like, first of all, have you played VR?
Yeah.
If not, you get an hour.
You're right.
I won't accept money.
Well, it's kind of the gimmick wears off quick because you can't move. You're playing this wildly kinetic game, and you're locked into a 3 square foot space,
right?
Where you can't dodge the sensors or everything stops working.
Can't turn around.
Yeah, that's a big one. You got to kind of manipulate the frame, and the Yeah, VR.
They're working on it.
They'll
right?
come along.
Yeah, it's a new technology.
Yeah.
It's like Virtual Boy back in the day. You know, you put your face against it and it was kind of 3D.
Yeah, I
Same
remember
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I remember being really disappointed when I first saw that too.
Well,
it was just the red lines, right?
Yeah. My mind was blown. Right, it was like tennis. I was like, oh crap, this is going to change everything.
Yeah.
And then it just died. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Virtual reality was like, it was an idea in like I feel like the early, mid, late '90s. Like it was the '90s.
Tron, right? I mean, like
right.
Big one about it.
Right. And then Nintendo, so they had the Virtual Boy, and then they put on that like vibrating pack. Remember that?
Oh god.
And it was like, oh, you could feel the punches.
Really,
and
it was just a big weighted vest that you felt.
Yeah. Such a disappointment. Because I was playing Mortal Kombat and MK2, and I was like, oh, I'm going to feel the punches. And my parents were worried about it, and they're pretty religious. So this was in the middle of like the satanic panic and like
Mortal
everything.
Kombat?
Yeah, Mortal
Oh,
Kombat was
geez.
like a headline making morality like line in the sand for a lot of parents,
Ugh.
and they were concerned that it was like a masochistic or like a sadistic thing. They're like, why would you want to feel the punches? So I never got to buy one, but then I found out what it was, and I'm like, oh, I
Didn't want it anyway.
yeah, might as well just tape a bunch of phones to your chest.
So you come from religious parents, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. Like evangelicals.
Okay. So then, I'm curious because this is on the mind of everybody, right?
Yeah.
What is your position on violent video games for kids?
Violent video games. I saw this really good meme the other day that said, baby boomers today have turned into the kind of people they were afraid video games were going to make us.
Oh man,
Dude, it was like
right on the
violent video games. I don't think has there ever been a study to link violence to violent video games?
I don't think there's ever been like a reproducible study
Yeah.
on it. There's been more studies stating that it heightens reflexes, it heightens adaptability.
Yeah,
these
hand-eye
type of things.
coordination.
Right.
Dude, I read an article from a guy who joined the Kurds to fight against ISIS for 6 months, and said that he had been unemployed playing Call of Duty 13 hours a day, and without that game he would have never survived because he didn't know how to, like, that game taught him how to take cover and how to survive under fire and all this stuff, and he survived. He was 6 months over there and came back to, I think he's American. But my like overarching philosophy is like, the bad, once you cut out the bad apples, like violent video games, I feel like it's therapeutic. I don't even know what it does to me, because I never sit down and I'm like, well, I'm killing everybody I know, but I'm working it out. I don't think it's therapeutic necessarily. It might be for somebody, but I definitely don't. I mean, okay, so I played Just Cause 3 because it was a free downloadable.
Right, yep.
And then while I'm driving through town, I'm like, oh, there's a satellite dish. That's 20 points. Oh, there's a radio tower. That's like 400 points. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But you don't want to go like blow
you don't
stuff up
do it,
or
right?
shoot somebody or like get the money back from the hooker if you beat her up. Like, it's... So violence in video games, I think, is... what I'm more concerned about is like violence in the home, or... violence on the streets, or like people who are actually pulling this stuff off.
And that's what they found. They found that if there was violence in the home,
Right.
then video games added to it because that's all they know. And, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
And I completely agree. I think myself. I think if you have a violent disposition, it's going to be something that enhances it, right?
Right.
It's going to be, and people are going to latch onto that thing. That's the reason,
Right.
When you don't get the root cause of why they're feeling that way.
Right. Well, it's like when people point to, marijuana makes you lazy. Nah, not necessarily. There's a lot of industrious people I know who blaze day and night. But there's also a lot of lazy people who get into weed, and now they're just lazy people who smoke weed.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
He smokes weed every single day.
Yeah.
My hero.
Yeah, that dude's great.
And he's done some pretty good. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Right? One of the richest people
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world.
Yeah. Dude, that was an instant meme. Dude, I didn't wait for the meme to happen. I watched that on the Rogan podcast, and I screenshotted that and just blasted it out on Facebook. I'm like, here he is, Mr. Billionaire, roasting up.
There it is. I know you were pretty excited about the, and this goes along with gaming, the on-site consumption.
Yeah. I think that we're overdue for. Just reefer madness needs to be over, man.
It does.
It's been 80, 90 years of like just counterintuitive weed legislation. I think it's time to set up a safe place where people can get roasted and treat it like the social. We treat alcohol like a social lubricant.
That's true.
You got to treat weed. Just let it be a social thing again, which it already is. Anybody who wants to smoke weed isn't like at a house party like, oh, the cops, you know?
Yeah.
Not anymore, at least. But I'm happy for it just because, I mean, I don't even smoke that much anymore, but like, the legislation against it is so bonkers. And so many people have like seen their lives destroyed. I mean, right now, man, there's probably thousands of people who are serving multiple decades for getting caught in the wrong state with a seed. And they were just watching headline after headline. We're like, the entire West Coast can do it? Yeah. How much can you carry? 8 ounces? Like, and you don't even get a ticket?
Right.
So I'm happy that every step is a step in the right direction. It's not necessarily that I want to, because I hate edibles, man. The first hour, you're like, man, I got ripped off. And then 15 minutes later, you're like, I need a safe space. You know, like, there's no way to not eat too much edible. For me, at least. I don't know.
Well, I mean, believe it or not, like I'm in National Guard, so I cannot partake.
Right.
I've always been an advocate for those people who do, because it's like, especially for brothers in arms, right? I've heard so many stories where it helps them. Mm-hmm. And so I've always been okay with it, because I know once I got my misconceptions fixed, the world kind of opened.
Yeah.
And even though I can't partake in it, I condone those who can. And you know, I've been an advocate.
Well, what blows me away the most is like how fast CBD oil became a thing nationwide. Like, I heard about it a little bit a couple years ago, and then I feel like I woke up the next day and everybody was like, "Oh, this will cure everything."
Right.
And even Mitch McConnell, the most how do I describe him? He's a conservative. Right. And he's like the leading conservative. What is he, House Majority Leader or something? And he's like, yeah, my home state's going to pass this farm bill to legalize hemp. And it's like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
2 years ago, like a CBD, what is that? Is that like a DUI? What is a CBD? And now it's like completely like busted wide open. My buddy works at a place that did like $3 million in revenue, and they're a brand new company.
Wow.
Yeah, CBD is like.
Do you need a grandson, IT guy?
They might. They actually might. Yeah, future millionaire over here.
There it is.
CBD money.
Oh. So I got one more question for you, then we'll move on to KZND.
Right on. Yeah.
I have to hit that.
94.7 Alternative Anchorage, alternativeanchorage.com.
There you go. So, did you follow E3 at all this year?
What did I know that PlayStation wasn't there.
No, I didn't see much of them, at least.
No, you know what? I wish I followed E3 more, but I didn't catch. The biggest headline I saw was that PlayStation wasn't.
The biggest thing you probably also heard about was Keanu Reeves, right? You've seen that?
Oh, yeah, Cyberpunk. Yeah, that was E3.
I wasn't excited for Cyberpunk. I am now.
Yeah.
But as soon as Keanu Reeves stepped out, I was just like, I don't care what he's selling. I'm buying it. I'm buying maybe 2 of them. You know?
Dude, he turned into a god overnight on the internet.
Easily.
Remember when wasn't it Sad Keanu was the last meme we heard from him?
Was the first meme.
Yeah, where he was eating sandwich.
Yeah, it was all sad. And then came like the turning water into wine. He was sitting at a table. He had a wine glass and a thing of water and a wine bottle.
Right.
And then he blew up, and then he got mixed in with Tom Hanks and the nicest man alive.
Yeah. Well, and then this photo started coming out where, like, whenever he takes a photo with a female fan, he's super careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, what was the thing? Well, the thing about Cyberpunk that, like, Blade Runner I watched when I was a kid, and I didn't get it. And then the new one came out, and I still don't. The plot is just so convoluted.
Right.
I mean, I get the basics, but, like, I went to Japan back in February. And holy God, dude, it turned me into a weeboo like that.
Yeah.
Like, totally. I went there and I was like, this is the future because they have so many people packed into a small space. They build up.
Yep.
And everything's like bright neon. Yeah, and down. It's all this vertical city and it's all neon and everything. So if you ever go on YouTube and relaxing beats to chill/study to.
All right.
Like, it's always this cartoon version of Japan. And, like, all the anime makes sense now.
Yep.
Because you look at the buildings and you're like, ah.
There's no way that's not American. Like, there's no way that's a thing. And then you go to Japan, and then it is a thing.
Yeah, dude, I was there for a week, and, like, all the anime made sense. I'm like, oh, Ghost in the Shell, this is what they're living in.
Right.
And then Blade Runner makes sense because America is going to come to this point where the cities don't have anywhere to spread, and we're going to start building up.
Right.
And eventually, man, there's going to be double the population now that there was when I was born. And that's only going to continue. It's like the, what's that law in technology where the chip said? What is it?
Moore's Law.
Moore's Law, where it doubles every, 10 years or something? 2 years?
Yeah.
That's
every year it's supposed to double.
Right. Okay.
And I can talk about 30 minutes on that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Okay, so 7 billion now. 30, 40 years from now, we'll probably have 10, 12, 14 billion. I mean, it's never going to stop.
Exponential.
Yeah. And eventually every city in the world is going to be like that.
Right.
And so it was fascinating. Fascinating.
Let's hit on some KZND stuff. So, big changes for KZND.
Yeah, super big changes just this week. Actually, we're coming to the end of week 1. On Monday, well, let's see. Back in March, we got bought by a new company. Not a new company for us. We got bought by a company called Last Frontier Media Active. It's based in Fairbanks. Really successful up there. They have an 8-station cluster. So we're still a local station, still locally owned, locally operated. Whole new boss, whole new line of people, coworkers, and everything. I was lucky enough to survive a format flip, which is...
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, that's a rare thing, man. I'm super blessed. Hashtag blessed. Format flips are tough, man, for no matter who you are. And usually what you see in radio stations is everybody you're used to hearing from just goes away.
Right.
But I survived it. Super lucky, and super fortunate to still be in the brand new 94.7 alternative Anchorage. Which, to explain to people, because a lot of people are asking, like, you went pop and blah blah blah. Alternative is. It's kind of a mix of, like, so back in the day in the 90s, alternative was the Cranberries, Green Day.
Yeah.
But alternative is more from them to where what we call active rock is kind of goes with the, like, Disturbed was alt rock in 2000.
Right.
System of a Down was alt rock in 2000. Those are now considered active rock. So all of that movement kind of went that way, your 3 Days Graces and all of those bands. Meanwhile, alternative kind of leaned into, like, the Coachella artists. They got more electronic. They got more, how do I describe it? Acoustic. Mumford & Sons is like an alt band. So when you hear those changes on the station, that's why. It's because our format is now alternative. It's not alternative rock. So, I've
noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, 'cause I really, and I emphasize this, I really loved what you were doing with the radio show, and I feel like it was you. It might not have been. I give you credit for it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Because, like, our childhood, is Sum 41, Blink-182, Green Day, System of a Down, all the things that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Was my childhood, and a lot of the people who came here.
Yeah.
And so when you started playing that, suddenly I found myself not switching as much to radio, even like commercials. Like, I didn't want to miss what new thing I used to love back in the day was.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you've kept some of those, because like I've heard some Green Day and I've heard some other older stuff, as well as some newer stuff, which is great because I need to know what's coming up. Right. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
And alternative artists, from what I've heard from promoters, now that they're like, oh, you're alternative, I can bring these people up now. Number one hit makers in alternative are easier to get up here. I don't know what the reason is for that, but the names that are coming up to me are bigger in alternative than the names that were coming to me when we were a rocker.
Oh, okay.
So that's exciting. I know that shows are hard to come by in Alaska. That is one thing I do miss also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then now I think the big question on people's mind is, besides the music change, what's going to make KZND different moving forward?
We have a full lineup of staff now. We've got a morning guy, Yeah.
Is it you?
No,
Oh.
it is not me. I will still be on in the afternoons, so I'm moving noon to 6 p.m. And then we have a night girl. Her name is Amy. She's great, coming on 6 to midnight. So from 6 a.m. to midnight, you'll hear live and local people on the air. What else do we have? We've got a brick of tickets to to Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah. Oh my
I
goodness.
want you to go to if you're listening, go to Facebook.com/Alternative Anchorage.
There you go.
And sign up. Post our logo. All you got to do is post our logo. Make that your profile picture for the next few hours, because I'm going to pick a winner at like 5 or 6 p.m. today. 4-pack of tickets to Dropkick Murphys at the Alaska State Fair. I think August 31st. We've got another artist coming up in November who I can't say yet, but they'll announce in August.
All right.
It's not a Sublime, but it's Sublime adjacent, I'll say.
Hey, there you go. That works.
Yeah, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. So, but
Don't worry.
it is a band. I've seen, and they crush.
Tens of people will see this and have that much more insight.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
And then what else is coming up? We've got there's so much in the works. Like they came through. We're getting a stronger signal. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
So you drive through town. Sometimes you might, or you come around like when you go into the valley. You know, you might drop us. But that's all coming up in about August. We're going to increase our signal by like 5-fold.
What, 5-fold?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
So we're going to max out our license ability. And it's going to be loud, man. It's going to be loud and strong, and you're not going to lose us anywhere in the city. It's going to be dope.
And anything else that you wanted to share along with KZND or even yourself? If I'm going to open up the floor for a minute or two, if you have anything else that you want to announce that KZND is doing.
What do we have immediately? Really, it's the Dropkick Murphy thing. After that, the Black Keys are dropping an album next week, the 28th. So a week from today, the new Black Keys album comes out. And I'm waiting to hear back from their label to get a few free digital downloads. So you might have a chance to win the new Black Keys album Monday. Check in with us. What else is coming up?
So here's something I got for you.
Drive safer. What is wrong with you people? It takes me 20 minutes to get from one end of Anchorage to the other. Drive safer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why?
I have that issue all the time.
I'm telling you, man. Like, I've been everywhere in Anchorage. Where are you trying to convince me you're trying to get? Are you trying to get to the border? Like,
Yeah.
just take it easy, man.
I'm an aggressive driver. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But I'm a safe aggressive driver. Like,
Right.
I don't make sudden lane changes. Like I have people like 5 miles an hour in like a 40 mile an hour zone. I want to go this way.
Right.
You know.
I might, like, weave, but I always signal first.
Right.
I mean, like,
Be a courteous
I
asshole.
give it I give it 2 or 3 blinks before I make the move. Come on.
That's all we ask.
Yeah, exactly.
And then so I my personal question is like I remember you were on when it was the old KZND. I'm gonna call it that now.
Yeah.
You had a lot of voice on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I loved it because it provided the morning-ish show,
Yeah.
but a little chopped up throughout the day, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to do that still, or is it going to be mainly music?
Well, we're gonna still be heavy on the music, and that was the goal back in the day. Before this change, my goal was always I don't want a long form morning show because I don't want to take 8 minutes of your time if I have nothing to say.
Right.
So what I always used to do was shorten it down. I'm going to tell you what's coming up, and that's what everybody hates. The tease, man.
Yeah.
But it's effective.
Yeah.
If I have something big, I'll tell you what it is in 8 minutes. Stick around. So what I would do was my big segments were limited to 2 minutes was my goal. 3 minutes if it was super good, super hot. But, I don't want to take up too much time. So we're going to stick heavy on the music. We're still going to have presence. Honestly, I got to work it out and get a feel for this new. I mean, it's a whole new world for us.
Yeah.
But I'll still be here. I'm looking into supplementing some online content for the station. I want to come up with a web series, Alaska-based web series, mostly just to highlight all the crazy, like the wild stuff. That dude that faked a volcano Did you ever hear
As
about
an
that?
April Fool's joke?
Yeah, the April Fool's
Burn a
volcano
bunch of
thing.
tires.
Oh my God, what a genius!
Oh,
That's the kind of thing I want to. When stuff like that happens, man, I want to be on it, and I want to kind of tell the stories, the Alaska stories that don't really get out there. You know, the Binky story.
Yeah.
I don't know who knows that or who doesn't. I never heard of it until I got here. I want to tell that story. I want to tell the volcano thing, the Satanists in Homer. Like, there's so much zany stuff that happens.
It sounds
here.
like Seth MacFarlane every once in a while would tell stories through Family Guy on like specials.
Right.
It almost sounds like you want to do something like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, because you have the voice.
Yeah.
We just need to get you in something flashy with an expensive whiskey.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like a smoking jacket.
There it is.
Like
with shorts, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Sitting outside my RV.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Have you seen my RV?
I've not.
Oh, I'll bring it around Warehouse 49. Do you guys have a website?
Oh, yeah. Warehouse49.com.
Warehouse49.com. I always want to plug it whenever I say it.
Oh,
I'll bring the RV around. I might be zipping up to Healy tonight because it's a solstice party.
Right.
I'm not quite sure yet. We talked about it earlier. But I have all this stuff and I have all this opportunity. And I don't know how long I'm going to be in Alaska, so I might as well. It occurred to me the other day. I'm like, I've almost been here 2 years and I've been to Talkeetna and Homer and Seward. I'm like, that's not enough. I got to get out there.
Yeah.
So,
don't worry. I've been here for 10 years. And I've been to maybe 2 other places. So,
Yeah. Anchorage is where it's at, though, man.
It is. Plus, I don't like to go anywhere I don't have Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, when I was in Japan, man, I was hopping on every open, sketchy Wi-Fi signal just in case I could update my Instagram. It was brutal, man. Like, some Russian hacker has all my IDs, all my infos. It was worth it.
They had it when you got in the country, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna turn things around. I'm gonna be a little unconventional. I'm gonna turn it over to you. And do you have any questions for me that you've been burned?
Yeah, man. Totally. So we've known each other for almost, I think you were one of the first people I met when I got here. And you were doing, it was like, not pop-ups, but you're kind of like invading a bar and doing a LAN night, right?
Right, yeah. It was like our weekly game night thing.
And look at you now, starting from the bottom, now we're here.
Yep.
So tell me, as if I'm not sitting here, explain to me, like, okay, so we got Monday. What is Monday?
Closed.
Easy enough.
Yes.
Tuesday, you've got Tabletop Tuesday.
Tabletop
right?
Tuesday, yeah.
So that's this room. Right?
No, that's the whole venue. We opened up the whole venue to tabletop gaming. So whether it be D&D, Vampire Masquerade, Warhammer, it doesn't matter. You can come in and first come, first serve. We open up both VIP rooms, the main room. You can even go outside if you wanted to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll entertain it, and you can just play board games, meet new people.
What do you do when there's like Settlers of Catan and it's time to close and they're like 20% through the game?
Really, so we give people plenty of notice.
Bookmark it? Yeah.
However, if I have a cool thing where if there's like a couple, like 4 or 5 paying people,
right,
we'll stay open for a little bit longer.
Oh, right on.
For as long as we need to.
Yeah.
To make sure that you can finish out your game. And sometimes we've had it happen where a D&D game was going to last like 10:30. I'm like, I got stuff I can do till 10:30 on a weekday, so I let them finish out.
Right on, man. Well, I'm happy to see that like it became you guys have a physical presence because I think this is super important, especially in the winter.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so you went from there to here, and you guys have a location. What's next? What's like the next like goalpost?
So something that if we had more time, I was going to go into. We actually got the okay to be here until at least January, which
Cheers!
Yeah. We weren't quite sure, so I wasn't planning anything past August, so we weren't quite sure what they're going to do with the property, but they were like, this year's shot for us. You're okay until January. So we're still looking for a bigger space because the D&D stuff and other tabletop games really exploded. It's one of our key things that people come in for.
Really?
Yeah.
Tabletop.
By about a factor of 2 to 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. So we need more VIP rooms and tabletop rooms.
Yeah.
So we are looking for other space, but this place is doing quite well for us now. And so that's what we're here right now. But what we want to do is we want to make this place a little bit more homey.
Yeah.
And then we want to hopefully go for our food license to start serving food.
No kidding.
And then I like to do things in steps.
Right.
make sure we're really good at it, and then hop on the next thing.
Yeah.
And then if we can find a better location parking-wise, we want to go for a beer and wine license. So we can start...
A gamer bar. My God.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
And then if the community wants it, because we're all about the community here, we will go for another license so we can start doing the nerdy drinks that we were doing at Coots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because people love them, and we made them a butt ton of money with our drinks.
Yeah.
And we want to keep doing it, but of course the community has to support it. And we have to understand that we are based from the community, so we don't have like $1 million to throw at a venue quite yet. But so we'll grow into it, and each step of the way we're learning something, we're doing it better.
So Tuesdays the big nights. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thursday's a special night.
Thursday, right? Thursday is card game Thursday. So D&D and tabletop and board games have encompassed Tuesdays,
right?
To the point where we don't have a lot of room for other types of games. So
do you have to shut down your console and PC games?
No.
Oh, you mean like just the space?
Just the space, yeah.
Right on.
And so we want to give card gamers the opportunity to come in and use the space. So we opened up all Thursday to do that. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, that WWE back in the day. It doesn't matter.
WWE trading cards?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could play a game with those.
Back when I was in elementary school, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea, but
I saw a box of unopened ones on eBay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Pokemon was a game though too, right?
Yeah. Pokemon's, yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of people are about the Pokemon Go now. So
Right.
And then we just got some pre-made Magic decks made. And so even if you want to experience Magic and don't have that cost, you can use one of our decks.
Oh, right.
And we definitely we want to promote the family fun nights.
Yeah.
So that you can bond with your children playing the stuff that you remember back when you were younger.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go out and it doesn't cost you a whole arm and leg.
You guys are still taking donations for games, right? Console games, or
yeah. So you can donate them, or we have a thing where you can trade them in for game time.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So like
credit,
Xbox One will get you an all-day pass. Xbox One game will get you an all-day pass, and then all the other games are usually about an hour or two, depending on the game and the console.
Awesome. So if you're thinking about selling that game to GameStop for pennies on the dollar, don't do it. You can get full value credit at Warehouse 49, warehouse49.com.
KZND, alternative.
Yeah, that's the radio. That's the radio brain in
heaven.
Yeah, alternativeanchorage.com.
I think that's good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit everything on the nail.
I was trying to
let you talk for another hour, but
I could.
You have a solstice thing you want to get to, so I want to make sure you get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rallying right now. I'm old, so I'm like, I could just lay at home with my dog.
I feel the same way every time. It's like being the host of Warehouse 49. I'm like, I could be playing here instead.
Yeah.
But here I am hosting it. I'd rather just play with you guys than sometimes.
Well, how much does it require your attention? Do you ever jump in?
I very rarely will I jump in. I have a weird switch in my head where if I'm host is my game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I want to be the best host to you, and I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I were to play a game with you and ignore the people.
Right on.
And that's my fear. Once we get enough to hire someone, I'll definitely play some.
Gotta get that high score, man.
Gotta get it right.
and don't forget, they got snacks and drinks already. That's the thing.
It is already, yeah.
Dude, I was impressed, man. From the last time I showed up when you had the soft open, you invited kind of like the inner circle.
Yeah.
And even to now, it's come so far. Just a couple months later, you guys are crushing it, man.
Well, my philosophy is if you're gonna do it well, and get better at it. So about every week or so, I try to do something to improve the space, whether it be the caching server, getting a new game in there so that people don't have to wait forever to do it, making sure the 10 gigabit Ethernet's working good, all those type of things, just because we are competing with your house.
Right.
There's no one else doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so how am I going to get you off the couch and be social with us?
You're not competing with me, man. I got that Alaska, that ACS 10 megabyte, megabit.
Every time we got an update, it's like 3 days later.
Oh, it's brutal, man. Like, if I try to download a game from PSN, it's like 300 minutes. All right, I'll go to bed, I guess.
We have a lot of people who will actually come in with their console, pay for an hour or two, play on their computers while their console updates.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So they get that 2-for-1 service.
So how do you hook up such a, that's like CIA bandwidth?
No, it's GCI Red, so it's 1 gig.
Oh, Red. Okay.
Right, yeah. So we're paying for the Red, but we also have local caching, so our servers will host it offline.
That's right.
And so this way, if someone else wants it, it downloads quicker.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
So 5G coming to Alaska. How do you feel about it?
I think you saw my post.
I did.
I feel like you have to have the bandwidth, right? If you're going to put thousands of people on a certain, I know this is my job.
Yeah.
If you're going to put a couple thousand more people on a higher tier service, because that's what 5G is, right? It's technology to give you faster service.
Right.
And so either they're just going to give you 5G and not give you that service, which is not actually 5G, or they're going to oversubscribe like they're doing with their internet. And so what you'll notice, and we've noticed it, if everyone's watching the Super Bowl here,
right,
our internet starts lagging because they've oversubscribed their internet, their lines. So there's one big fat pipe in the middle of the road, and each one of these people on the same road is sharing that big pipe. And so even though you might have 50 people with a gig, they might only have 20 gigs to the neighborhood. And so eventually it eats away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
I didn't know that fiber optic had like limitations like that.
Everything has limitations of some sort.
Yeah,
and you're only fiber to a certain point because like you still have to plug in a cable modem. You don't have fiber right to your.
Oh, true.
And then even there, that gets put into a bigger pipe. Right. Just like if everyone flushes their toilets in the neighborhood, someone's going to back up somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I thought about it the other day when I'm like, okay, I don't mess with ACS for gaming because it's just too frustrating. I don't know if 10 down is enough, but I know it's like,
most likely it's their modem. And so if you buy your own router, oftentimes it puts it in a different mode where you go through their modem and not get routed by their modem. And so you can, with certain tweaks, you can get a little bit faster ping time, stuff like that.
I'm going to use this guy. Pay attention, kids. We're learning.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it totally is their modem. Is that why companies will supply their own?
Well, they supply their own. One is they usually charge you a rental fee, so they get $10 a month on a $20 modem.
Right.
Another thing, they know it's going to work.
Oh, okay.
And so when you supply, you're like, hey, you can have our service, but you got to buy something.
Right.
They're like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So we make it easy. Just give them a modem.
That's funny. I didn't realize how cheap modems were until I canceled with a provider in Oregon. A discount provider. And, you're used to turning your modem in at the end of the... Yep. They were like, nah, keep it, throw it away, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how cheap is this thing? And then you look through the vents and you realize it's just like one little board surrounded by tons of plastic casing.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to this.
It's really just the small modems that you have. It's just a way to convert that signal to something that you can use. That's all. Yeah. And it's great for ISPs because they can charge you for it. And if you forget that you have that modem and you cancel that service, they'll still charge you.
That's right.
It's horrible.
You better watch out, ACS. I'm going to go get that Ultra Beef modem.
There you go.
You're getting 13 down.
You just need to get a router. That's all you need to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you'll never... You might see yourself go a little bit past the 10 meg, but they control that on their end.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so what you're going to have is better optimization. Kind of like if you buy a fancier car, you can get up to that speed limit faster, and you might get better gas mileage, that type of thing, but you'll never get past the speed limit.
I got you.
Yeah. So, something to think about.
I need to make a friend over there.
Yeah.
Or they need to come out with another tier. You know what I mean?
What I'm really hoping is there was MTA. Hoping they come out here.
Tell me about MTA. Are they the Valley?
They mainly, Matanuska type of thing. So they basically deal with Eagle River and beyond. And I'm more excited about their announcement of they're bringing like a 300 terabit line or something crazy. I forget the number off the top of my head. They're bringing that from the States. And so you don't have to actually go through Seattle to get our internet. We can just go straight off of land. And supposedly it's going to be a lot faster and possibly bring data centers up here.
Yeah.
Which will make everything faster.
Wow.
I'm more excited about that.
Yeah, it's about time. Amazon Prime is finally going to be, I think, because it takes like a week for Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
But now Amazon Prime Air is coming.
Yeah.
Which means 2-day shipping finally going to happen.
We'll see.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, it's long overdue, man. We're a major metropolis, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it like almost 400,000 people?
Yeah. Which is like some people's suburbs, but yeah.
Well, the true city limits of Portland is 500,000.
Huh.
You know? So it's like, I mean, we're comparable to a major city. There's no, like, I mean, there's kind of a metro sort of in the valley and everything, but Anchorage isn't a rinky-dink town. It's time to give us that city stuff.
I agree. We are part of America. We should get some of those benefits.
Damn straight.
Well, Kellen, I want to thank you for stopping by, being my first guest.
Right on, man. My pleasure.
And, I wish you the best with the new KZND. I hope that they provide everything you need. KZND Alternative, Anchorage Alternative.
AlternativeAnchorage.com. We're getting the app is still running. It
go.
never went down. Make sure you download it at your Play Store. Soon to be coming to iPhone. And warehouse49.com. Tuesdays. What is... Remind me. Tabletop Tuesdays.
There it is.
Card Game Thursdays. Any day of the week except for Monday. Gaming here at Warehouse 49 and Warehouse
Sunday.
49.
Don't stop by Sunday.
Oh, yeah. That's the Lord's Day, you sinner.
Yeah. Well, no, the girlfriend needs her time, and I provide that for her. And
I got
so, happy wife, happy life, right? Everything.
Right, yeah.
All you guys can learn from it. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy solstice!